welcome to this episode of AccleroTech Podcast. We are going to speak about accelerating productivity in software testing with AI, and we have just now published a white paper, all of us together over here from AccleroTech, and with a warm welcome, we are going to talk to the team that has worked on this white paper. I'm Anand, I'm the CEO of AccleroTech, and today we are going to speak about the AI first approaches in revolutionizing software testing, especially when you consider regulated sectors like BFSI. Joining me are Bhupendra. Hello, Bhupendra.
Hi, Anand.
Bhupendra is our head of AI research, and we have Nadeem with us. Hi, Nadeem.
Hi.
Nadeem is our chief architect, and we have Nilesh, who leads our customer success and delivery. Hi, Nilesh.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay. So lots of our readers, lots of our viewers have expressed their interest in the white paper that has come out. Very, very interesting white paper. So let us talk about the AI trends in software testing. So first, maybe we'll start with Bhupendra. So Bhupendra, I have a question for you. The question is, AI in testing seems to have gone from being a buzzword to being a topic in the boardroom. So what trends are you seeing in how AI is being applied in software testing in today's world?
Yeah, great question, Anand. Really relevant in today's shifting dynamics in the software industry. We are seeing a fundamental shift in how software testing is approached. Traditionally, testing was manual, slow, and reactive. Now AI is making it proactive, intelligent, and scalable. One major trend is the use of GenAI to convert the user stories into BDD feature files. This means as soon as a requirement is written, AI can generate the test scenarios in Gherkin syntax, which includes given, when, and then, right? Without any human intervention. Right? For example, recently a European bank used an open source GPT model to generate these BDD scenarios for a new online banking feature. In this case, AI produced scenarios for adding pays, validating bank accounts, performing transfers, very intricate scenarios. And about 80% of those scenarios were usable out of the box as was generated by AI.
Wow.
Thereby reducing test design time from a full day to just less than an hour.
That's significant.
Significant change in productivity.
And the another trend is AI-assisted maintenance. BFSI is a dynamic environment, right? Requirements, guidelines, policies, regulations change quite frequently. AI tools can now detect the changes to user stories, automatically updating the corresponding test cases. One insurance firm, for example, they use the general purpose LLM to refactor the BDD files when the age eligibility for a particular feature changed from 18 to 21. AI identified the relevant scenarios, impacted scenarios, as well as added the new scenarios based on these changes. So that's another area where AI is greatly and positively impacting the testing. Another trend I'm seeing is, AI-powered traceability metrics. Right?
Okay.
Traceability metrics, as we all know, is very important in ensuring the systems work as they intend.
Correct.
These tools ensure every requirement has a corresponding test case. That is a primary, requirement. In trading systems, the AI monitors, hundreds of user stories, hundreds of scenarios. And whenever any policy is changed, it is flagging the missing coverage or suggesting new scenarios. This way, it is ensuring compliance, is maintained, is, sacrosanct, and then thereby saving, countless hours in terms of manual review, multiple reviews, the peer reviews as well as the own reviews. And
Awesome.
finally, the feature, failure analysis, sorry, is being transformed, right? Uh, AI is able to identify similar failures, groups, similar failures based on the root causes and multiple other parameters that we can configure. And it can actually predict the future failures as well. Right? For example, in one of the project, this reduced triage time by about 60%. Instead of
60%, you said?
absolutely,
60%?
absolutely, such a huge saving companies are now deriving. So instead of instead of manually reading logs, they are just getting the summary of different failures that are observed in a given duration of time. For example, let's say 50 failures during login process due to service outage, 30 due to incorrect data mismatch, and so on. So what we are seeing is not just theoretical. Companies are feeling the savings that that are being generated by these GenAI tools, and this is very much a reality now, right? And the measurable outcomes, the measurable productivity gains are now being derived by the companies.
Great, Bhupendra. Thank you so much. This has been quite insightful. We did not know that such an impact is there. Obviously, our white paper is giving much more information about this, but I'm pretty sure that many of our viewers would not have thought that these are the kinds of kind of a trends, AI trends that are happening within this era. Thank you so much for this detailed answer, Bhupendra.
You're welcome.
And so now let us move around the table. We'll talk a little bit of tech. So Nadeem, question for you. So the question that our audiences would like to ask you is, what are the different phases of functional testing, right? From a technology trend perspective, right? And what technology trends are there vis-a-vis AI and the functional testing phases?
Right. So AI is everywhere, right? So AI is impacting not I will say the impacting, but it is helping heavily supported agents are there, right? Which is helping the functional testing in all the phases, right? So we have 5 key phases of the functional testing, like test design, test maintenance, script generation, script maintenance, failure analysis. I will try to cover, with basic example, for each phases, right? So which will help to understand more, how the AI is impacting in the phases, right? So in test design, we normally use NLP and LLM to convert user story into BDD scenarios, right? So let's take an example. For example, a US bank implemented a rule-based converter for credit cards user stories. So the tool generated scenarios for successful transfer, insufficient balance, and fraud checks, right?
Okay.
Cutting initial test design efforts by 30%. Right. So
30%.
from 100 to 30%, right? So huge cutoff, we can see, right? Like in script generation, AI translate BDD steps into executable code, right? So previously we don't have this facility to execute the code. So AI is helping on that. We have used structured NLP to generate Selenium script from Jenkins steps, right? So in one of our projects, we generated 100 steps definition in a minute, right?
Oh, so
In a
you mean
minute.
to say that you used Gherkin
Yes.
and you generated Selenium scripts and you generated how many? 100?
100 step definition in a minute.
Oh,
And
wow.
this task would have taken many days, right? Manually.
All right.
Right. So this is what, right? And for example, the mobile app, we use AI to generate APM script that work across Android and iOS by inferring platform specific locators.
Oh, that's a
Right.
huge saving.
A huge save. right? So it's becoming a, APN is a platform, right? Android, AI, iOS, everywhere, right? So it's running. In same in, script maintenance is where, self-healing some comes into the picture, right? So, we have a scripts like, example, a bank UI changes overnight, breaking 200 test days, 200 tests. Over AI healing 170 of them automatically by identifying new locator and adjusting weights. They save the queue time from a week of a manual fixes.
Oh, okay. Very
So
interesting.
just imagine that, 200s are breaking. AI has fixed 170 out of them automatically by identifying new locators and adjusting weights.
Amazing.
Right? And we are also using AI assistance refactory where the gherkin step changes. The AI suggests update to the corresponding step definition. Right? For example, if the status that that then train is executed successfully changes, then the trade status is executed, right?
Okay.
Executed. So the AI updates the functions names and assertion log both.
Okay. Because this is just a minor change. It's like
Just a minor change.
it's just
Right?
a minor change, but then it will require a lot of change in the code
Lot of
because
change.
automation has
Yes.
everything gets impacted.
Everything.
Okay.
Right? So impact analysis and everything is done, within that that scenario.
Amazing.
Right? Same in the, the failure analysis, AI clusters fails and identify root causes. In a trending platform, we saw 15 tests failing due to a price feed delay. AI
Okay.
grouped all them and, flagged a performance regression. All of them, do the performance regression. Another cluster point is to the null pointer in trade, executed logic, a clear functional one.
Okay.
Right? And we are also exploring autonomous test agents. These AI bots read BDD scenarios and execute them directly on an app. No script is needed.
Oh, so no script is needed. So there is
No
a
script is
AI
needed.
bot which will read the
Yes.
BDD and it will execute. That's
Execute.
it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can execute any, like, books, script, right? Runnable books, everything. Using bot, we can do that.
Interesting.
AI provides all these facilities, right?
Amazing.
So, in a fintech tales, an agent interprets a scenario, navigate UI and validate outcomes using elastics, right? So it's early, but it could not redefine how we test softwares, right? Right. So overall, AI is helping us building faster, maintain smarter, analyze deeper, transforming every phase of the functional testing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Nadeem. I think the technology is really coming to a high level of maturity, right? Where
Exactly.
it can not only it is not only enterprise ready, but it is also ready for regulated enterprises like BFSI, right?
Right. So we are able to execute a huge steps in a bot.
Perfect.
One bot we can able to execute this, right? Without any impact or everything, right? We can do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think this is a very powerful technology that
Yep.
is there at our hands, and I think
Yeah.
it's important that we all understand it. I think we have written it in our white paper that is written by the three of
Yes.
you. I think
Yes.
audience and all of us are going to be greatly helped by that. So now,
Right.
thank you so much, Nadeem, for this wonderful answer,
Yeah.
detailed answer. Now, moving on to you, Nilesh. Uh,
Sure.
See, as a delivery and customer success leader, you basically keep on seeing the pressures that enterprises are going through, especially the IT, the development team, and the QA teams, right? And
Yeah.
you also see AI, how the AI is going to be helping, right, in those scenarios. So, we would like to understand your viewpoint on this aspect from the business pressures and the different kinds of metrics that are impacting it from a program management, from a business perspective. Nilesh.
Sure. That's a very relevant and a fantastic question, Alan. And I would like the other folks also to chime in between if needed, right? In my overall career of maybe around 20-25 years, right? I started my career, right, in mid of my career. I switched to a testing, right? those days, maybe early, maybe around 2005, 7, right? That time we used to have this functional testing and all manual testing was efforts. We had to write the scripts manually and everything, right? And there are very high chances that due to the human errors, there are might be some slippages that could cause some impacts. However, as the automation or the trend has improved, the AI also started impacting a very big impact on overall the strategy of a testing. Right? So yes, you're absolutely right. Enterprises, ITs, and QA teams are under immense pressure, mainly for the with a because they need to mainly deliver faster with a fewer resources and without compromising a quality, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the BFSI sector, the stakes are even higher, right?
Correct.
Because a single outage that cost millions and it could damage a customer trust, right? For
Correct.
example, a trading glitch in 2012, if you remember, right? It costed around 440 millions in just 45 minutes, right? And which actually causing a firm bankrupting, right?
Yeah.
So, and definitely the AI is here. We can use it as an our assistant, right? So it helps to relieve this pressure, and in major three ways, I would say. One is I would categorize that those three phases in first is the speed, right? The AI accelerate the test creation. Most of our like Bhupendra and Nadeem, they both have covered, and I echo them, and I would reiterate the same that the AI can accelerate the test creation and the
Mhm.
execution too. The
Mhm.
financial services firms used an AI to generate the test cases from around 100 user stories, which
Mhm.
saved around 100 hours and around $6,000 in the efforts. So
Mhm.
it's an immense cost saving, right?
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
it's one side it is a saving,
Mhm.
and on the another side it is actually the QA can focus
Ah.
more on the actual compliance validation and the exploratory testing, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes the technology cannot cover these parts,
So
right?
you mean to
Which
say, Nilesh, that while there is a input kind of a advantage, right, in having cost saving, but sometimes the cost saving might be small, but the speed that it gives and the possibility of do exploratory testing, right, where
yeah,
those things would have otherwise never be tested. Those things would
never
have
be
never
tested.
been thought of, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So this is an added
Hmm.
advantage, is
Hmm.
kind of an icing on a cake, which you
Hmm.
get
Hmm.
as a benefit of an using an
Hmm.
AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
And the second part I would say is an coverage, right? So
Okay.
it's actually kind of a combination of earlier point as well.
Mhm.
So AI ensures the better risk-based
Mhm.
testing, right?
Mhm.
So for example, an insurance firm, an AI flagged missing scenarios where a
Mhm.
new clause was added, right?
Okay.
And there are regulatory in most of the countries, right? The regulators they continue to add as per the recent scenarios, and
Correct.
there are very high chances that those scenarios might get missed,
Correct.
right? Due to the ongoing testing, ongoing CI/CD, and all different types of delivery methods that we have. However, the AI could able to generate sample scenarios, right,
Hmm.
for a two-factor authentication and ensuring regulatory coverage, right? So it can automatically detect those changes and apply it and inform the testers that these are the scenarios you should also test, or it may test it automatically and it
Hmm.
will get the results.
Hmm.
Right? That's an added advantage. The
Hmm.
third part obviously is the cost, right?
Mhm.
On the one hand, as we saw a cost savings of 6,000 and all, right? It could also like covered some of the scenarios too, right? How other factors which could consider into the cost saving, right? The AI
Mhm.
reduces the manual efforts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
a tool licensing, right?
Okay.
So many of the our solutions use open source tools, avoiding the expensive commercial licenses, right? Many by savings engineering hours, we deliver a direct cost savings. For example, if an if AI reduces the test creation efforts by 50%, a team of 4 can do a work of team of 8, right? So it's simple calculation, simple maths, which effectively doubling the output
Okay.
without doubling the cost.
Okay. So same cost, double the output.
Think about double the output, right?
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
a free on buy one get one free on is something like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Nilesh, in terms of the overall metrics, you are saying that there are three kinds of uh, pressures or three kinds of ways. First is speed. Second is
Coverage.
coverage, huh? And the third is
Third is the
cost.
cost, right?
Okay.
Not only those, right? So if you go a little bit trickle it down more, right? So the for example, if you consider like I would rather suggest the leaders should track these specific
Okay.
matrices, right?
Okay.
So the test coverage versus requirements, right? So AI traceability ensures every requirement is tested, right? There are very high chances due to manual or maybe some other reason. There are high chances that some of these scenarios might get missed, right?
Correct.
The mean time to detect and fix the defects. The AI failure analyzes the speeds up the triage, right?
Mm.
The generally like when any the customer side defect get logged in, right? And to fix it, it depends on the priority on the depends on the criticality of the defect. It so by using AI, you can detect, you can speed up your defect triage, and it can reduce a deployment of that specific defect or a bug, right? Which definitely saves a cost. The automation ROI, right? That's another metrics. Which measures efforts saved versus investment, right? So so definitely, as very clearly said, so you put the efforts and the investments, right? So
Correct.
how it can be saved, right? It gives a clear picture. The fourth part is release cycle time. The
Mm-hmm.
faster testing means the faster releases. You
Right.
can add more features, you can add more enhancements, right? You can add more architectural changes if needed, right? So this also helps the release reducing release cycle time.
Mm-hmm.
And the last part is the defect leakage rate. So
Mm.
the AI helps catch the bugs earlier, reducing a post-release defect. So
Correct.
as we have seen in our earlier example, which costed a company getting into a bankrupt phase,
Correct.
it could have been saved if they could
Correct.
have used an AI in this.
Actually that is the whole point of testing, right? I mean that the defect should not be there and it should not leak into the production. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But still it happened, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
and and due to the AI, definitely, if we use AI rightly, uh, there are high chances that
We can reduce
we,
the
we
leakage.
can reduce these leakages. Right?
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I would like to give one more example, right? So in
Okay.
one bank, the predictive analytics helped reduce a regression suit size by around 70% without losing a coverage, right? So you have like maybe thousands of test cases, right? The
Oh.
tester or the TDDs that could have come up with all of these
Mhm.
test cases. However,
Mhm.
when we implemented or when we asked AI to act on it by analyzing all the test cases,
Mm.
it could reduce the overall test scenarios or a
Mm.
regression suit by
Mm.
70%. Right,
Mm.
70% is a huge number,
Huge.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So
Especially
this,
for large releases, complex releases,
correct.
and it
Yeah,
takes time and it is very complex. And then you start going into the rabbit hole because there are defects that are logged, and then you have to fix those defects, and then you have to once again put it through. I think most of our audience who have gone through this pain will understand what we are speaking about. Yes, this is a interesting kind of
Or
a case.
even it is providing the predictive analytics,
Correct.
which is only in test cases we have only reactive, right? So
Correct.
it is very
Correct.
very helpful to reduce this, and without coverage it is reduced. It's a huge, right? It's a huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I
I
would say
think the AI is the
sorry, please carry on, Bhupendra.
when this Gen AI enabled software testing is, basically augmenting
Hmm.
our traditional testing teams
Correct.
to do the things that they are doing faster,
Mm-hmm.
to increase the coverage of the stuff that they have been doing, and the one which they were not able to do earlier, right? Because of either time constraint or variety of reasons. Now with Gen AI, they are more confident that they will be able to focus upon things which are, let's say, more critical as compared to certain things, let's say, which are relatively easy. Gen AI enabled testing is going to take care of it. They don't have to worry about it anymore to that extent. Whereas they can utilize their expertise, the domain expertise, subject matter expertise, to focus on things which add more value, thereby enabling the team as well as the organization move up the value chain. I think that is where the Gen AI is taking the teams as well as the organizations.
Beautiful. I think.
Ultimately, Alan, coming
Mhm.
back to your questions, how
Yeah.
it is reducing the pressure, right? So there is an immense pressure. However, if we use AI rightly, right,
Mhm.
at a very right time,
Mhm.
definitely it reduces the pressure, right? And these are all the examples I would say. Uh,
Beautiful. Beautiful. So high quality, faster, cheaper, great confidence, better confidence. I think
Right.
this is amazing. Thank you so much, Nilesh. And I think this kind of discussion summarizes, right, from a business perspective, right, from a management perspective as well, right? What are the challenges and what sort of metrics and what are the different angles in which AI is helping, right? And the technology is also right. So
right.
great. Thank you so much, Nilesh, for this wonderful answer. Definitely, it would help all of us and our audience with these insights. So what I would like to do now is that because the three of you have worked together on this wonderful white paper, I would sort of do a rapid fire round. Hope all of you are ready for that, right? So I'll simply ask one question to each one of you, one by one, and one sentence answers. It will be a quick rapid fire. I hope you are ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bhupendra, question to you. You get 1 minute. So the most underrated AI use case in testing?
Most underrated. Oh, very interesting. Quite interesting. So I think to me, traceability metrics, which is powered by AI, that is quite underrated uh, so far. As I mentioned earlier, the traceability ensures that nothing slips through the cracks. And as Nilesh earlier mentioned, right, the cost of fixing something which has fallen through the cracks is enormous for the organizations.
Correct.
So the investments that are going into Gen AI, I think they are going to basically save the organizations in future from such mistakes, costly mistakes, right? And it is about not just the financial one, but the reputational
Correct.
risks as well.
Correct. Even
So for
existential.
me, absolutely, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Correct.
So for me, the enormous benefits which Gen AI brings in ensuring traceability, especially in the dynamic environments like BFSI, where changes are the only constant. That's the most important but underrated use case in AI.
Wonderful. Bhupendra, thank you so much. This is very insightful. Traceability metrics, folks. And now, thank you so much, Bhupendra. So, Nadeem, over to you.
Yes.
Quick one shot fire question. So what is the coolest tech that you have used recently related to what discussion we had?
Yeah, so I have used, semantic mapping of BDD steps to, reusable functions,
Oh,
right? So because, we say that, AI doesn't have memory, right? So it's just like, AI with memory.
wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So we will be able to map the BDD steps to reusable
BDD
functions.
steps to reusable function.
Amazing, amazing. Great, Nadeem. This is very insightful. Thank you so much. And Nilesh, 1 minute question to you, rapid fire question.
Sure.
The question is, if you have to tell the CIOs that there is one single metric that you should track, considering what we have discussed, what it would be?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. So I would take a single metric that the CIO should track is the defect leakage, right? So why so, right? So it is it's true test of your QA effectiveness, right? So the number of defect leakage happened throughout a cycle or a release cycle that gives you an actual effectiveness how your QA efforts are being used, right? So be it manual, be it automated, be it using it AI, implementing an AI across the enterprise, right? However, right, ultimately the leakage done to or maybe at the production side would definitely give a better insights to an CIOs, right?
Correct.
And they can definitely give those numbers, right? They can consider those numbers to improve on the effectiveness of a QA. Right? So
Thank
that's the one.
thank you, Nilesh. I really love it. These were quick, crisp, and insightful.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm really thankful to Bhupendra, Nadeem, and Nilesh because they have been commissioned to have create this white paper which they have created, and it is already published. I would request all the viewers, we are going to have the link to the white paper in the comment section. We are also going to link out to an article, thought leadership paper that has been published on the website of AccleroTech. I would request audience to make the most of all of this thought leadership, all of this interesting knowledge and interesting insights that have been coming from these leaders. So this has been a fantastic conversation. I'll just wrap it up with the few takeaways. So one takeaway obviously is that AI is not replacing testers. I heard that it has been empowering them. You gave the cases that how they are able to do exploratory testing, how they are able to free their time. BFSI is, I think, leading the way. There are a number of use cases that all of you have shared, which is very interesting. Many think that BFSI won't get into this field, but probably I think they are kind of a leading in this. And the third is when you look at the future of QA, basically it is going to be autonomous. There will be intelligence in it, like Nadeem talked about the semantic mapping, the AI with memory, right? It is going to be intelligent, deeply integrated with development because it has to be intertwined with development. You can even run the scripts, right? Right from the BDD itself, you can do the testing. Uh, Basically, to all of our listeners, to the audience, the suggestion that our team has is that you should start small. You should pick one use case, do the AI generated test cases, self-healing scripts, whichever it is that you are okay with, build from there. At AccleroTech, we are happy to help you get into any of these areas, and we will help you uh, kind of pass through this jungle of AI and QA. So thank you, Upendra. Thank you, Nadeem. Thank you, Nilesh, for sharing your insights. And thank you all the audience for tuning in. Until next time, keep testing smart. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.